And welcome to This Week in Frax. It's me and Dave. Filming during the day. Dave is currently at the airport.
I'm in Jacksonville International Airport in the lovely city of Jacksonville, Florida.
And flying out to LA.
Yeah, for a little bit. So if you're in LA, hit me up. I'm around.
Maybe you will be at the PIF pad for a couple of days to say hi to everybody.
Perhaps to the whole crew.
Are you going to see them out there? Are you going to see?
Yeah, I'll see them. Yeah, I'll see Charlie and all of them for sure. Charlie, Bryce, you know, the whole gang.
Nice, that's cool. Well, this week we had I think we should start with your thread on Bankless, because I thought that was cool.
Yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, that kind of came to me on Sunday. Thank you. When I saw the whole fiasco happen, and like, I understand that there's a difference between BanklessDAO and BanklessHQ. BanklessHQ, David and Ryan have built one of the best media companies in all of crypto, and that's really hard. It's hard to build a media company, let alone in crypto. And like what they've been able to do is like deserves nothing but praise. But it seems like early on they were experimenting with DAOs, and like they created BanklessDAO, and you know, the problem is like once you have a token, it's like you become really vulnerable, and like people are like, oh, like let's decentralize, but like you can't decentralize too early, because people still, especially if you have like if they're using like the Bankless branding to like forward themselves, then like even though you may not be a part of it, you're like still like there's still like some bearing of implicit responsibility. And so like it seems like BanklessDAO has been doing this for like 2 years. And you know, I remember them posting in like in like the Frax forum and this and that, and they're just like trying to do like general BD crypto consulting, all this. Sorry, there's a lot going on in the airport. But it's not like they were doing anything different. It was just like Arbitrum was just like an insane proposal, $2 million for a few translations, like a podcast, this and that. And like, think about it, there's projects that don't even raise that much money, you know, like technical projects with technical founders. They don't raise that much money, and they just got absolutely flamed for it. You know, what ended up happening is like, I don't know how like the progress is, but you know, the Bankless HQ guys are like, all right, like we got to like burn our stake in BanklessDAO, and then we got to change, like make sure it's like separate branding. It's not like you know, Donald Trump. He has his Trump buildings, and he like licensed the name of the buildings. Like you can't really do that with a DAO. You really can't do that with a DAO like right now. And so it made me think a lot about like what we've been doing at Flywheel, because like with BanklessDAO, it's not like they're exclusive to Arbitrum. They, you know, with Optimism, they propose to like other. There's no loyalty. It's like they're trying to support themselves and build a business, but like they are loyal to where the grants are. I mean, we're loyal to where the grants are, but like we've like firmly placed ourselves in the Frax ecosystem and have a lot of big plans ahead of us in the Frax ecosystem. Like, but in the beginning, we're you know, we're filling a void and need within Frax in terms of education, awareness, marketing, understanding, and you know, we've been slowly building ourselves up both online and offline since. I don't think this model that Flywheel has ever existed in crypto before or anything, and so we're definitely breaking new ground. I like to think we're redefining marketing and Web3 and DeFi as a whole. But yeah, like it's just I like Bankless, and like I like their podcast. They're great podcasters, but you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't just be like they built up a traditional business, which is great, but like they couldn't have like this DAO thing was kind of like a vestigial organ, like kind of holding on to Bankless, and it was like time to like separate the two. Like they can still have like a close relationship and partnerships, but like, you know, it's they got rightly, you know, CT has like enough of a red blood cells within them to, you know, spot, you know, things that seem like a little bit over the line, like, you know, and like, you know, the Bankless guys, I'm sure everybody meant well with the proposal, but like, you know, just because you mean well doesn't mean like
there was a bit of vitriol.
Yeah.
And hate.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, Bankless just like hits like such a different audience in crypto than us. Like, I think DeFiDave said it best. Like, DeFi Dad said it best. When we're about like existing DeFi users, like looking for people looking for information that isn't just like for newbies. Well, Bankless is they're media companies, so they generalize, so they're for newbies, which is fine. Completely different audience, completely different tone, completely different universe than the rest of like standard CT. But like the thing is, it's like the I also unpopular fact is like us on like in like the culture and stuff. We're gonna get like, you know, replaced and like moved out soon. It's just like this is what happens with adoption. Like like new people come in and like the old people get out, or like the old people move aside. And this happens not just with crypto, but with everything. I mean,
Yeah.
the endless summer of like the eternal summer of 1990, September 1993, the internet. Like it's like the eternal GFI summer of 2020. Same shit, different industry. But yeah, that's my little thankless rant.
Yeah, I will say about us, I mean, like, you know, we've been specific on Frax the whole time, and not have tried to branch out to be like generalist and
yeah, that's very intentional.
Top of the funnel. Yeah. And additionally, I mean, if you look at the budgeting proposals that we put through as well too, I mean, it started out pretty low. I think the first grant was maybe what, like 20 or 30,000. And that felt like a lot at the time. And, you know, even with the grants that we have now, we have a pretty big supporting cast here at Flywheel that helps with content production, and a lot of people on the back end that are helping with everything that we do, right? So I lost you for a second, Dave. Well, they broke up. Oh, we lost Dave. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I lost you. Yeah, I lost you for a second.
Yeah. Sorry. We built up a whole content machine. And so,
yeah.
And gradually scaling up, learning like, you know, what works, what doesn't work, what Frax need, what they don't need. A lot of experimentation. I think with fantastic results. I think like there's been no single force that onboarded new people to the Frax ecosystem than us. And like token incentives are important, but like those can only go so far. Like just because you have an understanding, like doesn't mean like people understand what's going on and believe in the protocol. But with us, like the way we operate, the way we present ourselves, the way, you know, the information we put out, it's like, it's definitely this like new ground between like an internal marketing department and like external service provider. So,
yeah.
And we got like some new things in store that to be announced soon, TM. But the flywheel will keep on spinning in a new, exciting, and active direction.
So I don't think that what they asked for was like too much. I mean, if you look at like if we had 15 full-time employees doing multilingual content, and you know, we scaled up what we were doing to a larger state, I mean, our budget could easily increase up to 2 million, right? So I could see where they're coming from with that. I just
but
think
like you can't ask for 2 million off the bat.
Who knows?
It's tough. You got to build up trust within the community.
Yes.
Like that's what we did.
Exactly. Right.
It doesn't matter how much like cred you have, because like like you could be a big name, but like people need to see your work. They don't just need to see your name. And like even with like us, like early on, like I've been a part of Frax since day zero, but I still had to like prove myself from the ground up with Flywheel, and I still get shit. And I'm sure we're still gonna get. And even when we post some new grants and proposals this coming month, we're still going to get shit. And I completely expect that.
But it's fine because, you know, like we've always taken feedback from the proposals and we've made adjustments and modifications. And, you know, we listen to the community as much as they kind of watch our content as well, too. So it's a back and forth process, as always, especially with this grant funding.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some other stuff. We had Sam come out and said that they were working on a brand new algorithmic way of figuring out how to bribe the Prisma pools. And the bribes are not going out for this epoch that's happening right now. There'll be another one that starts in a couple of days, I believe, with the next week. And so they're just going to be like the Frax DAO is just accumulating as much Prisma as possible until MKUSD is stable and above redemptions. And then they're going to propose this new algorithm to handle the bribing, right?
That's exciting.
They said it's going to be like Frax base pool style algorithm, but made for Prisma specifically.
That's really cool. The crypto investors like, why haven't you bribed? Why haven't you bribed?
Yeah, I
There's
know.
so much money on. It's like, well, hold on, because Frax moves slow. I mean, they move fast. They ship fast, but like move slow and intentionally. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny.
So we also had Aave, which they listed FXS, or they added FXS to Aave v3 last week.
Big.
And we reported on that. Now there is a new ARFC, which I think is like I think it's passed a temperature check. I think it's kind of like the initial proposal to get to add sfrxETH to Aave v3.
Finally. That's huge because
Yes.
that's how STETH, increased its circulation is with the looping, the STETH loop.
Exactly. So adding into Aave v3 will give access to everything that Aave has to offer. A lot more variety when it comes to money market types than Fraxland. So it might be very interesting for sfrxETH holders who are looking to collateralize new debt positions inside of Aave. So very exciting.
Especially institutional ones.
Exactly. Yeah. Aave is very trusted, and it's been in use for a long time. I believe the community be very happy about this. And potentially we might see L2 support faster than what Fraxland might be able to do. So if this does pass, we could see sfrxETH added on, say, Arbitrum or Optimism or anywhere else where Aave v3 is deployed.
Yeah, that'd be really exciting to see. Like sfrxETH and an L2 on other protocols and like getting adoption that way.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the thread. Sam did come in and he provided some big comments on some of the risks that were brought up in the governance proposal, and essentially talking about centralization vectors, saying that that it is behind a multi-sig right now, but it's the same thing essentially that Rocket Pool has with their ODAO, and that eventually it's going to be changed out with sfrxETH v2. And also that for those who don't know, Frax has the best performing validators.
Number one.
Like if you look at rated network, we're always the best. So it's going to be a big ad for sfrxETH to come to Aave v3.
Exciting stuff.
Okay, so there has been some interesting things happening with Vesta.
What's going on in Vesta land?
Yeah, so there had been back and forth about the fees, right? So Vesta's shutting down, and they're essentially forcing it, or they were going to force everyone to the people that were locked in, right, for several months would have to pay a 10% penalty fee. And this went through discussion in the Vesta pools, and they changed it. So I believe it went to that the zero. They changed the timeline, right, just to give more time for these people, to allow these vault owners who are locked in. And now it looks like the snapshot vote, which I believe did not pass. Let me just check on this. Because it went to snapshot back in October 15th. So it was voted down back in October, and it looks to be like it might come up again after there's been more discussion. So there had been talking about raising the rage quit fee up to 20%. Now there's talking about reducing it down to 7%. So just a messy situation all over.
Yeah, it's never fun at the end of any, not just protocol, but like any companies or startups lifetime, when it's the end and like it's a little messy and people are feeling some type of way. So, but this is 9 out of 10 startups fail, and in crypto it's like 9.9 startups out of 10 protocols fail. So it comes with the territory. Like not everyone is going to last the bear.
Yeah. So OX Chuckbeard has been trying to get this back in for a new vote.
Shout out Chuck.
Yeah.
A loyal Fraxmos through and through, and Flywheel enjoyer.
But doing as much as he can to try to get a vote across to get some of this liquidity unlocked from the festival. Yeah. And then we have a big update coming next week for the Arbitrum STIP.
Stip.
Yeah. If anybody has been watching the governance forums, there's been 2 new FXS gauges that have been added. One for Frax USDCE and one for frxETH WETH on Arbitrum. And so these 2 are now going to be added. And that's probably a good hint of what's coming next week with the Arbitrum STIP report that we're going to do.
You know what I was thinking? Though? Like, Frax Ferry takes 7 days, or right?
1 day.
Oh, 1 day. Oh, 1 day. Okay. Frax Ferry. I don't know why I said so. Someone told me like it takes 7 days. I was like, really? Let me double check that. So like everyone's gonna be bridging on Frax Ferry. Like, can you imagine how big those embarkings are gonna be?
I think we'll have to watch that in Frax Facts. I'll tell Kit to add that into his stats. Yeah. So that will be coming soon. We have a bunch of STIP stuff coming next week, and really looking forward to that because that is going to be kicking off ASAP, and so everybody should just be looking out for that.
All aboard.
So we had on as our guest DeFiDave from the Edge podcast this week, and we are including in the newsletter his video with CryptoVestor. Did you watch that episode?
I didn't yet.
Oh, it's great. I would suggest to go watch it.
I finally saw the American dynamism post, like video that you told me to. That was really cool.
It was great, honestly.
Yeah. I know that was last week, but like, I just want to bring that up.
Apparently, it's just like what's on Andreessen Horowitz's like homepage, but it's great to hear it in person, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I think that's a good way to align. I gotta hate that word. Everything's about alignment now, right?
We're Frax aligned.
Frax aligned.
Frax aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anybody hasn't watched that or read it, I think it's a great way to feel patriotic about what we're building here.
If you're a burger like us.
Yeah, I'm a burger. I like burgers.
I do too.
So you had a little meetup this last week.
I had a mini meetup, yeah. I had it with Corey because I was back in Jersey for the holiday, so people from the tri-state area came through. Corey from Dolomite, one other person from the Frax community. I swear, I have like low-key dyslexia when it comes to like reading people's names. I don't know if it's like Zerl or Zood Nitix or what. I don't know, but somebody shout out Zoo. We went to the coffee shop I always go to and bought Tesla. You know, got some extra Flywheel bucket hats. Gave to the fam, and we just kind of just chilled vibes. It's cool talking to people that aren't like active builders in crypto, but have been around for a while and are like they get it. They're just like passive investors, but like they've been around for a while and they just like live their life and then they come back and like, you know, do a little farming, do a little DCAing. Yeah. People that have like jobs not in the industry, like real lives outside of what we do. Yeah.
It's kind of strange, but you know, is what it is.
Yeah, and then I think the last thing we have is BAM, right?
Oh yeah, we had the BAM article come out this week.
Finally, that actually did really well. That thread, like that got people talking. Because like when I was with Sam a month ago, my flight is ready to board. When I was with Sam a month ago, he was like, "Hey Dave, I really want you to make a GIF," and he like went like all, you know, like the meme. I'm actually the meme of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like like this, like that was like Sam on the whiteboard, just like oh this is, and like I got it, and I was like, okay, like let me write it out. It took like a bit because like I started the article, and I tried to like but I didn't have the words to finish it with people, and then I gave it to you. You made the math correct and knew how to like say it to people, and then we made this beautiful GIF, and it got like everyone talking. I think that thread right now has like 22,000 views, and like now like there's been a few threaders like report on it. Like it's been the talk of the DeFi town.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I've seen it shared about. I actually saw it shared in the Curve unofficial chat. People were talking about it, saying it's pretty good. So shout out to Pete for making the GIF.
Pete, Lil Pete.
And,
yeah, that was huge. Yeah, like, and this is what we offer to the Frax community. It's like we are able to explain things, not only just explain things that are complicated and may not be intuitive, but also like more like just as important, if not more important, have the distribution to get that information out. Like we have the whole pipeline, information pipeline, in the world off chain to like get the information out where people matters. And now like users are excited to use BAM when it launches on Frax chain in Q1 2024. And I have like a few projects sent me up saying like, hey, like, is the repo open? Like this. Like people are curious about Frax chain. I mean, people curious about BAM. BAM. Wham, bam. Thank you, Sam.
And we need more builders as well too. People were asking Sam about a decentralized perp exchange on top of Frax chain today. Sam said that there would be actively open to hear from people who are interested in building that on top of Frax chain to be released sometime in January 2024, just in 2 months.
Yeah.
So,
soon TM.
Well, let's wrap it up there. You got a plane to catch, and
yes,
we've covered all the important topics for the week. Take us out, Dave.
Yes, thank you for joining us for this edition of This Week in Frax. I'm your host, DeFiDave, here with Sam McCullough, Trader's Insight, with all the insights. If you want all of our insights, hit that bell button, go subscribe down below on YouTube, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, give us a like, every little bit helps. Make sure you follow us on all our socials, Twitter, TikTok, and Telegram at FlywheelDeFi. Make sure you subscribe to flywheeldefi.com. That's flywheeldefi.com for our latest news, updates, and alpha on Frax and DeFi, and everything in between. You can follow me on Twitter at DeFiDave22.
And I'm at Traders_Insight, like Dave said.
And we will see you next week.
Peace.
Okay.